A new House subcommittee has been created to investigate the FBI and the weaponization of the federal government in politics. Select subcommittee headed by Jim Jordan, a Republican from Ohio, as you know. The subcommittee, they say, will be granted access to the highest levels of the FBI and CIA, get their records, and issue subpoenas to find out if they interfered with the presidential elections of 16 and 20, which they did. We already know that, but now we're going to get data, I guess. I'm not sure. The subcommittee will include 13 Republicans, 5 Democrats, and House Speaker McCarthy is in charge of appointing who's going to be on that, but they know that Jordan will handle it. Now, all of this is good because I was on a Hannity radio program today, and I talked about this. We talked about it, Hannity and I, about how the FBI has been corrupted. And it's the most powerful law organization in the world. And it's corrupt now. And there's no doubt that it is. So I asked my staff, find somebody who knows all about this. And we came up with a man named Thomas Baker. He's got a brand new book, The Fall of the FBI, How a Once Great Agency Became a Threat to Democracy. He was a special agent for the FBI for 33 years. Joins us now from Colorado. So, Mr. Baker, thank you for helping us out tonight. And I mean, the question is simple. I don't think there's any doubt the FBI interfered with the 16 election on Russian collusion. And then again in 20 with the Twitter situation, they were trying to suppress stories, the Bureau was, with the social media companies. But who's behind this? What is happening there? Do you know?
This began, Bill, was caused by Robert Mueller, when he was director, creating a cultural change in the FBI, and it was exacerbated by the poor leadership, terribly poor leadership of James Comey.
All right, so the first name you mentioned, who was that again?
Robert Mueller. When he was director,
okay.
He became director just a few days before the September 11th attacks.
Correct. So you say Robert Mueller, okay, as director of the FBI, throughout the 9/11 years, okay, corrupted the FBI. Number one, how did he do that?
He set about, and he said he was doing this, to change the culture from a law enforcement organization to an intelligence-driven organization. That had a lot of unintended consequences. Basically, in a law enforcement organization, you exist, you live, your mindset is every day to go forward to that day. And that day comes when you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's quite different than an intelligence agency, which their tool is deceit, deception. They deal in estimates, best guesses. He changed that culture inside the FBI. He created the environment, situation where these very specific abuses, one or two which you alluded to, were allowed to take place.
Now, that makes perfect sense to me. So after 9/11, it goes into a domestic intelligence agency like the CIA is a foreign intelligence agency instead of concentrating on its mandate of law enforcement. That makes perfect sense. So in the process of that transition that Mueller is overseeing, is he hiring ideologues like Comey and McCabe and all these people that surface to try to defeat Donald Trump? Did he hire those people specifically because he knew they were left-wing people or Democratic people?
Not exactly, but those who got ahead were those who came up on that intelligence side of the house, and he changed the way cases were managed. He did what the CIA does. He drew it all in headquarters. Traditionally, in the FBI, cases were managed from the field, and there were levels of review: field agent, then the field supervisor, then the agent in charge, and finally headquarters had some oversight. What Mueller did with the Hillary Clinton email investigation and the Russian collusion fiasco, he brought them into headquarters, and that continued very much to the present day. And that's
I mean, okay, so
problems.
they brass at the FBI was calling you shots, but it still doesn't explain why a person like Hillary Clinton, who obviously broke the law by having classified information on her personal cell phone, there was no doubt about that. All right, and the FBI actually had to say it to the American people, but then it said, well, she didn't really know, she didn't do it on purpose. Prosecutors wouldn't bring this case, which was a political decision, correct? But why did they want to cover for Hillary Clinton?
That was James Comey and his poor leadership, and he specifically did that. And I know from people I'm talking to, the New York office and elsewhere, they were very upset with that decision at the time. But that was Comey. Usurped the role of Department of Justice, of the U.S. Attorney, and ultimately of the Attorney General in doing that. He was just, his poor leadership exacerbated bad cultural change that Robert Mueller had started.
Inflation at its highest level in 40 years, interest rates skyrocketing, we all know that. Market experts like Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, not only predict a recession, but are using scary terms like economic hurricane and unprecedented. So, you need to call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Please call them today, and they will have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers, are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532.